Good evening, everyone. Back for another round of Disco Elysium. I'm Diablo Graves. Um, yeah, it's been a bit difficult to find time this week, but I had a couple hours, so I figured I'd get back into it before I forget too much of what's going on. I think we started off. It's Thursday. Yeah, beginning of the day. Another rough night. Let's see. Still don't know where the murder weapon is. Secret passage. Still don't know how to get in the secret passage. Oh no, this one. I'm gonna have to try and find this guy maybe. Oh yeah, I can let everyone know and mail the signatures. Okay, so that's something I can do to start things off. I still don't know where this is. I'll try to find that. Try to find Morel. Try to find this. To explore for that too. And call for information, but I think I have to wait until 10 a.m. to get that one. And these, if I find them. So I think the plan is go look for Morel, go look for the buoy. Well, first I'll tell Everett about the signatures. Then head to the coast, look for Morel, look for the buoy, check the boardwalk, the island, and Land's End. If I can get. I didn't see any of those places, but I guess we'll see. Same thing with Ruby. And then once we hit 10 o'clock, we'll come back and call in for the information library cards owner. All right, got a plan. You know what? I'll keep carrying it around. It's big and dumb and ridiculous, but I like it. These two are still here.
Yes?
Oh.
Wonderful. What is your takeaway? It all seems unreal, detective. In actuality, the pale is no more unreal than, say, water or death. Or that we are stuck behind our eyes, between our own ears, talking.
Now that I think about it, that seems weird.
Excuse me, large topics are not my forte. You seem stable enough. Keep it that way. Now, was there anything else, or should we get to it?
I don't have 20 real yet. If I don't, I can always use the.
What is it?
Oh yeah.
That was pretty good, Harry. Wasn't it, Jean?
Whoa, how does she know your name? She probably heard it from somewhere. You have to be more careful, karaoke stars.
Uh-huh.
Names are dangerous.
That was absolute shit, if you want my opinion. Drunken shit. Haven't wanted anything to end this badly since I had cluster headaches. Horrible. Truly horrible. I beg of you, don't ever subject anyone to this torture again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously, you need to...
Jean, it's not right. Don't make it worse. And I really liked it.
Aw.
She actually did.
Yes, I called you by your name. What about it? Good. Everybody knows your name. Please go finish your investigation so everyone can go home.
God damn it, you leave her alone. Keep your weird bullshit to yourself and be professional for once, for fuck's sake.
Can I actually help you with something?
Yes, of course. Preposterous. I mean, you would remember if they were, right? Who forgets their squad mates? That's not possible.
I mean,
Again?
I can't believe this shit.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
I don't think I have anything to say to Titus or the rest of the Hardy Boys, so yeah, I think we just head up to Everart, get that taken care of. I wonder if he's going to ask me something about two people that I was supposed to get signatures from. I did talk to them. I know who they are. Hold on. Something forgotten on the coffee table. Well, I don't see anything. Weird.
Mr. Dubois, every worker, member of the board. How can I help you today? The Golden Boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. Of course. I already knew this. My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a real future, Harry, and I feel I can finally trust you now. You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing is off the table.
See, forging that signature really paid off. Well done, sire. By guile and deceit, you're in.
I'm not gonna... I don't need to confront him about it, because I already know it's not going to work.
Order it. You know my men didn't kill him. They told you. It was a happy accident. You know how it is. No one takes the initiative. If I wanted him dead, I would have had to do it myself. And I'm too fat for that. Why a war, of course.
And what do you have to gain from a war?
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war. I have. It's a great story, Harry. Did you also know how the bee colony kills the giant hornet? They swarm and blanket it entirely until it suffers a massive heat stroke and dies. Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1, and that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men, or 15 men, or even 50 men.
You don't care how many bodies
The
pile
more
up
they
to do
send,
so.
the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste. Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait. Is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that. We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of it for the people, and fuck Wild Pines.
The word fuck rings like a gunshot from his mouth. He doesn't swear often.
So that's why you haven't let Joyce in?
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her arsehole. She has no chance. Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. We have a significant head start.
It also won't because she's not in
It's
control of them.
already happening. No idea. Could have been his own mother for all I know. If you ever find the guy, give him a big fat kiss from Everard Clare. Couldn't have done it without him.
He really doesn't know. The guy, huh?
I don't. I told you it could have been his own mother. I'm pretty sure it wasn't anyone from the Union. Maybe it was the mob. Or maybe he killed himself because he was a closet socialist. Truth is, I simply don't know.
He really doesn't.
Yeah. That's the thing. He's kind of an asshole, but
72, plus yours truly, of course. Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The clients will ditch us. Harry, we've thought of everything. We've been running back channel negotiations with all the major clients. I think the company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez and to the new competitive contracts we can offer. With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things go without parasites latching on. We'll have our hands free to pursue bold, exotic new revenue streams.
That's drugs.
yep.
Drug trafficking.
Drug trafficking? Don't be stupid, Mr. Kitsuragi. There are perfectly legal, 100% ethical chemical factories on the Samaran Isola. You don't need to be colonialist about it. All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little babes, people with disabilities. The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad, has bad optics, may be illegal in some countries. The Debarders Union, however, we're all about the large volume column.
In bulk shipping, large volume column is a major buyer, a shark.
We're gonna transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. So your sick kid can get his Benefed, and your wacky uncle doesn't have to come off risperidone.
Benefed is a children's cold medicine, usually apricot flavored, and risperidone is used to treat severe psychosis.
And the kids on the street can get speed and pyrrolidone.
I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but I have no idea about the things you just mentioned. But if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the Union took a fantastic share. And I'd keep that stuff far away from Martinez.
He's basically admitting to it.
Harry, if I was supplying raw materials to drug manufacturers, I would need an army of rubies.
Understood.
Yes, of course. And while you're doing that, please go ahead and also tell the Wild Pines. I want to hear them squeal from the indignity.
Nothing in his features betrays any concern.
Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. It would only be a small part of the harbor's turnover, just like the harbor is, but a small part of Martinez. Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music. Young mothers who want to start businesses. Models who want to walk catwalks and steel welders who want to weld steel. I'm going to unite them all into one economic body. We're going to incorporate this place to Kingdom Come. Everyone's going to be in on the wealth, and everyone's going to pull their weight.
Let's keep focusing on the drug trade. He was almost admitting to it.
No, Harry. That's boring. All right, it's gone. The hypothetical raw materials trade is off the table. It's such a small and insignificant slice of revenue, I'm cutting it. Boys. Harry felt queasy about it. We're not doing it. can we talk about my beautiful incorporated Martinez and its many-sided business ventures now? This bold new vision of incorporated socialism I'm offering?
I don't like this. I don't like what he's doing. I don't like that.
Harry, the length you're willing to go to keep your nose clean is remarkable. You will always have a warm bed in Mr. Clare's household, my friend, and a special place in the future of Martinez. We're way past specific union members now. This is the big time. We're talking about the future of Revachol here, Harry. You can bother Leonard with that. He loves to run his mouth on such matters. But I'm in big-time mode, Harry.
There's something different about him now. He's more vibrant, more alive in his big-time mode.
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me, but it had to be done. Your gun is with an old woman. I hear she's a character, so watch out.
This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy. The one he described as terrifying.
Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that? Wild. Anyway, the neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debarders Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building.
Waving the gun around doesn't sound good. None of this does.
Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly be? Oh, and she calls herself the Pigs.
I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
Ooh.
As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details. It sounds like she's unstable, but don't worry. No one got hurt.
We might be looking at someone with a medical history here.
I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast. The one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did ask for this.
Alright,
Now,
so tonight.
back to the fun stuff.
She will be there from 2200 hours till 0200 hours.
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
Great, Harry, great. I think we have truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We have united the RCM and the Debarders Union. This has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to do together, but if you ever feel like bouncing something off me, my door is always open.
Alright, well. Time to go find these 4. Still got 2 hours, and that's not going to be till tonight. But, since he mentioned it,
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And lots of folk really did keep coming back. Sure, mister. Absolutely. I'm always willing to help out nice fellows such as yourself. Mr. Evrat doesn't really want me to talk to people about union guys. But who did you want to talk about?
the one person I want to ask about isn't on this list. Wonder if it'll open up if I ask about a couple other ones.
Mr. Edgar is Mr. Evrat's brother. He looks a bit younger, he does, but a very smart fellow. Very smart fellow indeed. He's away on some union business. Not even in Revachol, they say. Huh? Sure, mister. What is it? I'd best not. I mean, I could, but I don't think Mr. Evrat would like it very much. You better ask him yourself, mister. The Night Guard? Ooh, He's a peculiar fellow. He's the strong, silent type, you could say. We talk all the time, but I don't really know much about him. He plays petanque with my old human studies teacher, Mr. Martin, down at the plaza. I think he's the only fellow who actually knows old Renee. They lived on the same street their entire lives. Even dated the same girl on and off for as long as I can remember. Strange fellows. Mr. Martin was always real nice to me in school. I remember once. Sure. Who did you have in mind? Oh, Titus is a longshoreman through and through. He was born on a boat, they say. His veins are probably filled with salt water, I tell you. Nice, friendly sort, old Titus is.
Alright, never mind.
Sure, mister. What can Leo do for you?
I guess I can't travel. Still can't fast travel. What are you two doing?
That's one brutal motor carriage.
Okay.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads. Scary tribal shit.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified skulls right now...
I can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not snitches or skulls.
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, cop man, is we're not part of the skulls yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay then, let's indulge in some intellectual exchange. These young men seem eager to share their beliefs.
Oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper skull.
Yeah, a true artist of the future, just like Arno van Eyck.
By the way, if you see Cindy, give her our regards.
For all their nihilistic posturing, these young men are not lacking in youthful idealism.
Mm-hmm.
The lieutenant on your left is unusually lenient toward them.
Oh man, yeah. We're not fucking kids, man.
Be wary of the abyss.
It's a threat. An impotent threat of violence. But I don't. In fact, I dislike them so much I'm willing to drag you boys back to the station just to calm myself down.
Hey, There's no need for that. We're just talking here. Joking, too. Stay light, man.
Yeah. Didn't you cops, like, have some questions about skulls or some shit?
The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, at least where gangs are concerned. That's why there isn't much organized crime around here.
Don't you worry about that. We're gonna make up for the deficit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are. We're not franchise skulls. Well, not yet. Once we get our name out there, we'll have a chance to join them. Because we can be just as psycho and vicious. You'll see.
But in a non-threatening and definitely legal way.
Aha.
We'll fuck the system from the inside later. Just be cool now. The damage will be tenfold.
Right on, fuck. So what's happening now? Mm-hmm.
Murder? Yeah, sure. We'll gladly tell you everything we know about it. It was a man.
Also, he was hanged. He was hanged from a tree.
Yeah.
These punks don't know anything.
Yeah.
Hey, stop right there. How does one know anything?
Ah, this sounds like epistemology. A field so occupied by thought that it begins to question thought itself.
Sure. Understandable. Fuck, and I appreciate your effort, though.
Yeah, they're just... Forget them. That's me.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down. Simmer down, bastards.
Why does she care about the waves so much?
What is it with waves and fishermen? We need to be out there with them, fishing, making a living. So I asked them to accommodate me. But until that happens, I can try to assist you the best I can. So, what will it be, officer?
I think Joyce is gonna have anything new.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Alright, west of the boardwalk on the coast, somewhere in the reeds. It's the buoy? Hold on a second.
A metal and plastic contraption bobs up and down amidst the trembling reeds. At first, it just looks like trash, but if you look closer...
That over there must be the boy class you told us about. The one she hid her passport in. We should take a look.
Ooh, hidden things, secrets, lie. You lift the boy out of the water without much effort. It's not tied to anything. The cords dangling from the bottom appear to have been cut. The number 11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water for very long, but it's already discolored and slimy with silt. A latch holds it close, but only just barely. The brittle metal of the latch has cracked.
Simple construction. Very unsafe.
It smells like you would expect it to smell. A concentrated version of the coast. Salt, industrial slop and decay. The water this side of the peninsula is cleaner. Actually, smells a little salty. A shot glass's worth of seawater pours out. Some algae, and nothing else.
Well, damn. I have no idea. Or think we do. This is a small loose end, either way. Not important, I hope.
No, probably not. Doubtful.
Might have been Glacia, might have been the people after her, might have been a local drunk. We should go.
You could ask the miss what she thinks. Later, if you have the time. Though you doubt she'll tell you much at this point.
We still got here too late. There's nothing of use here anymore.
Oh well. Maybe if I'd found it earlier in the week, it would have had stuff in it. Oh well. Let's talk to these two.
Here we go.
Hey!
Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
I see Kim has taken up the art of spinning again.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
His self-conscious enthusiasm renders his movements ungainly. He looks like your understanding of a scientist.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Gary the crypto-fascist. Okay.
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it. To what do I owe the pleasure?
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
Whatever. He's not suspected of anything as far as I know.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
The 881 is a raised motorway that separates Martinez from Jamrock. The labyrinth of streets underneath it makes it difficult to pass. Not like walking over a nice water lock.
No, he doesn't need to know the whole story.
Oh, good. We should really be getting back. Gary could use a hot shower and a warm bed.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
His hands are large and weather-worn, but also used to delicate, precise work. For all his passion, this man is diligent and patient. You could learn things from him.
I'm afraid not, officer. I've been busy digging around in the reeds for days, looking for signs of insect activity. I'm less interested in mammalian concerns, to be perfectly honest.
Mm-hmm.
The lieutenant takes a short note in his notebook, then gestures for you to proceed.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick. Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
Mm-hmm.
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm.
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton. They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing.
Yes. Yes. What? And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we've finished with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
Come on, Morel. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
She's seen it?
Yes. That's how we first came to know one another, in fact.
Aw.
But that's her story to tell, not mine. Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon course now. No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
He's dead set on this. I could go for some trap setting.
Well, we do have a little time.
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
Why not? At least it will give us the excuse to look into a lot of reels.
That it will. That it absolutely will. I hope you brought your good boots. There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them, you should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
Be careful where you tread in the reeds. Some less conscientious researchers may have left their traps out there, armed, hidden.
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself.
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed. It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week. Wise choice.
This is the smell of dying reeds, of longing crumbling into the water.
I hope you're not buying this. It dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
Right. Which means you two can pack up and go back to the whirling.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too.
Yeah.
But what if the information is vital? On the hunt. What about his
No.
eager-to-leave friend Gary there? Talk to him too, perhaps.
I will talk to Gary, though.
Hello, I'm Gary. Very generous of you to help us out, officer. Yellow man. I mean, officer.
Already starting to regret this one.
His eyebrows slightly and take Yellow man. That sounds awfully familiar. Something to keep in mind for later.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization. I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Degenerates? This man respects authority too much. To see the truth inscribed upon thine own visage. Pretend thou art a paragon of virtue.
Nah.
Oh, I've been tempted. But someone has to stay strong for Revocol.
He pronounces Revocol with a hard K, unlike other people.
My mug? Why would you think that? Really? I hear it all the time. All in jest, of course. No offense meant to anyone. Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer. You're not going to find me, are you?
I mean... He technically didn't lie. And he's obviously racist, but I don't think you can fine people for that.
Whew. Thank you. You won't regret this. I won't use another man's property to dump my garbage ever
I guess there is that, but whatever.
I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately. Damn Koiko's price dumping us out of competition.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just answering some questions.
Actually, this is
out the law.
This is a good point.
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services, CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez, so I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob.
This guy.
I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
Yeah, the trash container thing is the thing I'm least concerned about with this guy.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
But this part is interesting.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know? Then I came out to clean up the rags, because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly. Okay, I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Why?
It was just civic duty.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads, against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but where?
What sound? Really? There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects, trash. Could be the wind shifting some garbage nearby.
Every day, the wind shifts the reeds and whatever was left in them. Tambourines and condom wrappers.
Something's shady about this guy.
Glass bottles. The smell of decay. The sound you heard was not the sound of something easily abandoned.
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor. But I don't know anything about it.
And
That's a
everyone
lie.
can see he's not telling the truth. But he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing. There's something going on here. You should observe him more closely after this topic is concluded.
I hope I could help your investigation. In my small way.
Huh.
Wait, does this mean you've been in his apartment? On Everart's behalf? That was his colonial mug collection. Perhaps this could soften him up further.
Sure do, officer.
His eyes narrow slightly. He's wondering where this is going.
In my home. Yes. When I was going to... How did you know? Is this about the Union? Did the big man open the door? So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. No, tell him I'll make it up to him. What have I done? He'll send the muscle after me.
As he lowers his tone, he hunches his back.
What could it be about? I probably talked too loud. In the whirling. About some theories I had. Whatever it is, I'm done with it. I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to assist you, or the Union, just ask, okay? I'll try to help if I can.
This scared him proper. He's positively melting from fear. Has to prop himself up with a lot of anger to keep it together.
The weather vane has turned. He cannot be unturned.
I told you everything I know, sir. I'm truly sorry for the mug, but I have nothing to do with that.
He's not feeling too comfortable in his own skin. Uncomfortable shifting around doesn't make him the killer, though. It's something else.
Damn it.
He's looking comfortable enough. Maybe it was just beads. Sounded like beads. But what kind of beads might a man like Gary be hiding beneath his clothes?
I don't pray, officer. Faith in non-existent helpers is a sign of weakness. Not for proper Revicolian men such as ourselves. Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sale. I meant no offense, truly.
Do you remember how, when we met Measurehead and I said the next racist will be a really good one? Well, this is that racist.
Hey, man, all I meant was there are not many Sealites around here. I'm just stating a fact. Oh, yes, of course he is. I was just speaking about his connections. Let's change the subject, okay?
Sounds like some conspiracy topic. You might be able to discuss it with him when the lieutenant isn't here. If you can remember it. Return without the lieutenant. For this, your balance organ thinks it's a waste of time. Your gut feeling tells you it'd be interesting.
always a pleasure. I mean, officers.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath. Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor from something. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once. I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
We're not detecting falsehood, sire. He's gearing up to admit the truth.
Gary, what's going on?
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
No, you've got explaining to do.
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling. So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
We're detecting sincere contrition here, sire. He's not trying to flatter any...
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Seolite officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
They were thoroughly conservative men, he realizes suddenly.
I always thought it was the Union, but I sure as hell won't go around saying that anymore. You have my word. I don't know, and I won't be running my mouth on this subject anymore.
This is all he knows.
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you, but...
The hell, Gary? You in trouble?
I'll explain later.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat. But so light to hold, like a bag of cotton.
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again. I won't mess with Mr. Clare either. You have my word.
All right. So, that was, found this guy. And... Murder weapon. Okay, so I gotta inspect the traps. Those kind of whatever. These I gotta try and find out while I'm... Well, that one I won't do until 10 a.m. But these two, maybe I can find some signs while I'm walking around inspecting the traps. All right. And I also got... Where is it? Oh, that's really banged up. Oh, whatever. Also, I'm going to switch back to my other shoes. I don't think there's anything else in this thing.
The dome-shaped plastic boy bobs up and down.
Yeah. Thought I heard something.
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before. Behind you, the ruins of a residential building loom over the reeds. They whisper amongst themselves. Confidentially, snowflakes cling to their shivering stems. When this district was booming, the reeds were kept at bay. Nothing obscured the freshly painted facades. Nowhere for drunks and adventurous teenagers to hide. Now only the wind blows. Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go. I meant no offense, just...
Okay, so these are near the boathouses. Hold on. Heck yeah. I don't think I've been down this way yet. Well, some cash to be gained.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Correct. The density of the bullet holes is unusual. Even in a general average bullet hole frequency in Martinez sense.
That's a
Green
statistic.
appears, meaning this is a lot of bullet holes. Looks like fully automatic rifle fire. Something you don't see these days. The manufacturing and sale of automatic rifles was curtailed after the revolution. The destructive power of such tools proved to be too much. We do need to retain some humanity in the world.
No comment.
A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them,
Ugh.
a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet. No sound, no movement. 10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner. Automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands on the side. Snowflakes fall on the wooden planks and the surrounding sand dunes, covering the land with the white of innocence. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains. The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations, as demonstrated by the height level of the bullet holes. They stand, facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background. 7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side, but from which one? The commandant, the one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air, the lights of the muzzle flashes dancing on his face.
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces.
Remember what Trent Heidelstein said about Veld?
Another likely scenario.
Or maybe...
Yeah, it's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was a commandant, the superior giving the orders.
A cold sea wind blows away the figures. Behind this building, the other one, once filled with engineers and designers of Feld Electric, now collapsed and dead, but for some rats. You feel drawn, for some reason, to the faded mural again. There's no way the perp is in here, officer. Look how scarred the boards are. All attempts to pry them off have failed.
The suspect? God, I hope not. I can't see a way in.
Not this time. The opposition is insurmountable, but I like the spirit. Have some points. It's lonely and cold without points.
Gotta go all the way back around? Yeah.
Yes?
Nice. I don't do anything else with this mural.
You see, a slogan used to intertwine with, above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. Feld Electrical. How ironic. All these dark rooms. Feld Electrical, you only know them as a small company that makes ink cartridges. Looks like they used to be big. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first.
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there, or in that boat shack, in that church tower, maybe.
Why single out this one building?
Why do I have bonuses to this? We're gonna come back to this. I'm gonna talk to him a little bit more, though.
Hello. Isn't this a fine morning? Sure. What's on your mind? Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
A pleasure wheel?
Yes. To lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
It's really more helping you tell me more about the building.
But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
Wait, is he saying that we should just bypass the excesses of the revolution?
You don't have to explain it to the kid.
Tape computers.
I really don't care about the tape computers.
But of course. What else?
We'll ask for money, though.
I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
No, I mean, come on. You need the money. If it's not a thing, he can give you some.
Yeah, I think I'll be okay.
Of course, Detective. I wouldn't have assumed anything else. Matter of fact, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but the Vespertine Department of Justice has published a rather interesting paper on the criminal profiling in former socialist states. Have you read it?
What?
If not, then you definitely should. If not for tips and tricks, then just for theoretical curiosity. Anyway, that's just a little something that sprang to mind. You were saying?
Forget it. They don't sell those kind of books at crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
Alright, so come back to this mural. It definitely seems like something funky is
The
up.
remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years. Dripping water falls from a high place. There's rust and corrosion on the bars. They're foaming with it. And a small layer of white salt from the sea.
No, I won't even try. You know, I had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. It's that bad. Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I passed my shooting courses 7 out of 10.
Huh. Interesting. This way? Something's in here. Alright, the boardwalk.
There's some tear, an empty cigarette.
He said one of them was up this way? Northeast of the film building.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot.
There's one up here.
A familiar apparatus lies among the reeds, another one of Morel's traps. The reeds shake sadly in the coastal breeze. Snow specks the stalks. Most of it melts quickly. The reeds seem to be waiting for something. The wind picks up here, near the cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. It's cold for this time of year. This trap is also full of panicked locusts.
Another empty trap. Always up for a good job. Otherwise, would I still be on this case with you?
That's fair. I do like how you can make money picking up trash. Just like as a weird way to get some extra money. Yeah, do something nice and clean up the town.
Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot? Just some urban detritus, a bottle, and a dilapidated old comms tower. In the distance, you can hear the breakers roar.
I don't see it, Lieutenant W. Freitor. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there. In the whirling in rags. It's not possible to climb that ladder, and even if it were, why? There's no platform up there to aim from.
It does look extremely rickety, and wouldn't help much either. There, 1.2 kilometers over the cold water of the bay, through a thick snowstorm melting flake by flake in the waves, you see the smallest rectangle, barely visible. A glowing light on the third floor of the whirling in rags. With binoculars, you would see a young woman's shape move behind the glass, her limbs long and slender.
Yeah, this does seem
Warm
unlikely.
his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps, but anyone could have made this. The coast is specked with fires this time of year.
Yeah.
Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out Biddable Prime, was it? Those? A smoking assailant who favors Tumutiri to Astra or Joanne? Cigarette butts are everywhere. This is a common brand for all men.
Tiomutiri was a Revacholian colony on Ilmaran. The Suzerainties population was mostly Ilmaran Areopagites, up to 97%. The region was known for its tobacco export. Nothing is unimportant, detective.
So, yeah, it's that mural. Okay, so this is Land's End. This is also Trap at Land's End. We'll get the one in the canal and then head back to the one we just got. I didn't see a good spot on the boardwalk. Anyways, I think there's anything else out here. Doesn't seem like it. Wait. Sometimes he gets like that, where like it seems like he's gonna have a thought and then it doesn't fully form or something. I'm not sure what the deal with that is. Whether I just didn't pass a check or moved a little too far or what. Anyways, I think I know where the third one is. I have a feeling the one he set last is going to be the important one, but whatever. Huh. I thought that third trap would be over here somewhere. Southeast of the village. Oh, it's on the other side of the village. See, he's doing that. I try to stop, but he always, like, it always goes away before he can... Near the canal you crossed, southeast of the village. Ah, here it is.
This trap's the reeds bend forlornly toward the sand. Some tufts have been crushed. Snow covers the broken stalks like a shroud. In the east, the city center hums to you. The constant, distant song, louder on this part of the coast, nearer somehow. And there's that cold again. Always the cold. Nothing but locusts in this trap as well. Definitely no cryptozoological monstrosity.
Empty as all of them. One more of these and we're done. No, I'm fine. I didn't mean to complain, it's just...
It's okay, Kim. We're almost done, and we know where the last one is. Let's just go take care of it. Ignore this disaster.
This is the last of the traps, the one Morel just set. The reeds by the abandoned campsite sway and tremble. It's good the cryptozoologists left. This isn't a very cozy place to stay night after night. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp can still be seen in the sand. The fire that's gone out. You feel strange, somehow. The trap feels light and silent as you pick it up. Something is different here. No locust. No phasmid either, but still.
Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it was a reed monster, though. Unless you see one in there, I just see an empty trap.
The netting is a little untidy. Messier than the others. Like someone or something picked the trap up and shook it before dropping it back down on the ground.
Perhaps our cryptozoologists have competition in the form of an actual entomologist, or someone else is sabotaging them. I could present more theories, but then I would be taking this on as a case, which I'm not. We did, sort of, promise to tell them, didn't we?
A cold gust of air dries your sweaty face, and you look to the dark shadow, the Feld building in the distance, drawing you to it. What a strange sensation. Once this is done, should you try to ask again?
All right, well, yeah. So go back to the whirling in rags, and while I'm there, I can also, call the library. And I still can't fast travel for some reason. Oh, wait, it's a building. Nothing in here.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. Hold on. I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already introduced you to their librarian. Connecting the call in 2, 1.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I help you, officer? Billy Majon, you said. Give me a moment, I'll have to check our database.
On Moreau Drive in central Jamrock, in a darkened hall lit by orange desk lamps far away from the noise outside, a middle-aged man taps commands into an old radio computer. A printout falls on the desk. Behind him, a lonely reader scours some dusty bookshelves, looking for a paperback.
Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Majon's home address, is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately.
They're too poor to have a phone line.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe. Cape Side Apartments, it says. That's all.
That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it?
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day. Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Majon? They returned a Tybalt book the other day.
Maurice, what? A woman yells. Then, yes, okay, if it was the police, she starts explaining something.
Yes, it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio City 87, but we don't have it yet.
Good. You have a name now.
Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight. Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her. Marie! She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink or two the last time she saw him. 1 second. Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that.
That's fair enough. I think we're
Happy we could
fairly
help.
certain of what happened.
Goodbye, officer.
Anything else you need from me?
What does this do anyway?
As always, it's DJ Mesh and Fellatio, and you're listening to Street Freaks FM, bringing you the hottest, the nastiest, the most vulgar.
A flock of seagulls takes off nearby, startled by
Okay.
the radio. Right away, the lieutenant reaches into the cabin and turns off the radio. He's not looking at you as he says,
Someone must have been messing with the radio, or maybe picked up a random frequency. You wanted a prime line, right? Oh, is that what it was called?
Go for it. Turn the radio back on while it's still on the Speed Freaks FM.
Souped up motor carriage for one bad mama's boy. For the heavier foot and the freakier.
God damn it! Look, it helps me to stay alert on long nights, okay? It's a method. I'm not some kind of speed freak or... You would be too if you had this motor carriage. But seriously, let's quit joking around, alright? We have a case to investigate.
This is Precinct 57. Can I connect you to someone?
Right, that was amusing. I don't think I need to talk to Sylvie again.
57, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set.
Yeah.
Fairweather T500.
I have a second one now.
Remember that weakness you were looking for in the ceramic armor? Like, maybe it can only stop small, fast projectiles, but a large, slow-moving pry bar would shatter it. Or, if I run an electrical current through it, maybe it will melt. Or, personal favorite, frequency something something radio weapon. None of that would work. You need to shoot the part of the enemy that doesn't have Fairweather T500 on it, because the armor itself is invulnerable. Good news is, so are the armor pieces on you.
Nice. +2 hand-eye coordination against enemies in FT5. Oh. Get the feeling that bonus isn't just for show. Well, I can't get any more of these. I don't know that this actually gives me anything. This one does give a bonus reaction speed. Slots do suggestion plus. Oh, interesting. Maybe I shouldn't be carrying stuff around if I'm not using it. I'm taking a hit to logic with this. I don't know that I'm actually using these. Visual calculus, suggestion, electrochemistry, composure. Yeah, I'm not actually using any of those. Might drop that one. This one is actually really cool because it gives me extra XP. The volition is nice. The logic bonus is penalty, or yeah. So maybe this one. Maybe this one, because it doesn't seem like it's actually giving me anything. Unless that comes in handy at some point. I don't know if these are going to give me anything better. Whatever. Think about that later. Wait, no. This is the wrong way.
Hello again, sir.
Not sure where 20 is. I'm assuming it's on the upper floor. Oh, right. It's not this one. Oh. You get a thing that unlocks that. And now I have money. Although I hope I didn't, like, just take... You know what? I'm not going to think about that.
A weathered brown door. The number reads 20. Something smells good. Soup allongio. The lieutenant motions to you to go ahead and knock.
You're right. Let's talk this through.
You hear some light footsteps and what appears to be a daily weather forecast playing on the radio.
We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Méjean. We need to confirm this, as well as deliver the death notification to Billy herself. Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. This is why it's usually done in pairs. You got this. I'll be monitoring reactions, ready to act if necessary. Dead? Just don't say that you know how they feel. You don't.
Yeah.
The lieutenant motions towards the door.
Hello? Who is it?
And someone turns down the radio.
The police. A moment, please give us a moment.
Tidying up, nervously.
Come in, the door is open.
Man. Yeah. Oh man. I think she already knows. He hasn't come back. Oh.
It's you from the book stand. Did you come to bring my cockatoo back? I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink? Tea? Lemonade? We're out of coffee.
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in his handkerchief for now. You're on your own here.
Is this about Victor, my husband? Is he in some kind of trouble again? I can come pick him up in the station if that's what.
Keep it together. You don't want your body language to tell her the news.
Sorry, I'm rambling. It's just that Victor often gets into all kinds of trouble. So, how can I help you?
How about some small talk before you break the news?
It's me, Victor, and the kids here. We have 2 daughters, Jenny and Jolie. Jolie is 16 and Jenny is turning 18 next month. The girls are staying at their friend's place tonight. And Victor is out.
She swallows visibly.
I don't want to say this because I already know.
No. Vi, do you have any news? Oh, it's in Jamrock. The one at Mayro Street. I don't know the official
I guess
name.
we should confirm it.
Central Jamrock Public Library?
I think, yes, if that's the one on Mayro.
It is.
Just to return a book of mine? Why? Why all those questions, Detective? Did he... Yes. His old leather jacket. It's just your average brown leather jacket, but he bought it as a teenager, so... No, well, the lining is hand-sewn. It's blue. I tried to make the thing more weatherproof since he's running around with it in the middle of winter. No, I guess I'll find out when he decides to come back home. It shouldn't be long from now. He's never gone for more than a few days.
She folds her hands across her chest. Here it comes.
I don't want to fuck this up. This would be a really shitty thing to fuck up. And it feels ridiculous to be wearing shades for this, but...
She looks up, too anxious to say anything. I don't want to. I don't want to do this.
Say what?
Officer.
Too late. You ruined it. Just say it now.
Excuse me? What? What did you say?
She's in pain. She's in so much pain. And so are you. Your chest is burning.
We are very sorry to inform you, but your husband, Victor Méjean, was found dead this morning on the Martinez boardwalk.
Oh. Oh. But he was just...
He was just here. Alive.
I understand that this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner are here for you if you have any questions. We are very sorry for your loss, ma'am.
What happened to him? Tell me. And you just found him there? Lying in the cold? How long had he been there?
She doesn't reply. Her eyes well up with tears as she struggles to keep it together. You hear the clock ticking in the children's room.
Is there anyone we could call for you? A friend, a family member, someone who could be here for you?
No, no. I just need to tell my girls.
It burns like acid. Unreal.
God, should I call them? Should I tell them to come home? All right, I'll call them. Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him?
For God's sake, lie.
I mean, if she wants to see him, why would I lie? That seems kind of awful.
And who should I contact?
He was taken to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number, in case you want to contact him earlier. Is there anything else that the RCM could do for you?
No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still a bit...
Again, if there's anything we could do for you, then don't hesitate to call the RCM, ma'am.
She just nods, distant and inconsolable. The bed springs rattle beneath her as she begins to shake. These are her last reserves of strength. Her muscles will give in soon to a scream.
I'll take it from here. Thank you.
We should step outside and talk. So, the death notification.
He's avoiding your gaze. This is the time to say how sorry you are about it.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. I'll call the station when we're finished with the day and let them know the name of the deceased. There's not much we can do for them anymore, I'm afraid.
They have to. It's not your place to live their lives.
Yeah.
That's it. We should get back to our case. And, officer, I've seen worse. This wasn't the worst I've seen, okay? Now let's go.
No, man, I want to... Fuck. That's fucked up. I don't want to... I want to retry that.
She looks up, too anxious to say anything. She looks up, too anxious. You've done this before. Just keep your focus.
What did you say?
A great and terrible spike. The blood freezes in her veins.
Oh. Oh. But He was just...
But he was just here. Alive.
We understand this comes as a huge shock.
What happened to him?
Yeah, I want to say definitively that it wasn't like it was just a thing. It wasn't like he did something wrong.
Was he drunk?
I don't want to. I want to play through. I don't want to play that part up.
I see. And you just found him there. How long had he been there?
If you say 2 days maybe, it will be etched in her mind forever. She blinks, eyes welling up with tears, as her hand starts searching for something from the pockets of her dress. The handkerchief. A small, terrified smile quivers on her face as she takes the handkerchief and wipes away the tears. She looks disoriented.
Is there anyone we could call for you?
No, no. I just need to tell my girls.
It burns like acid. Unreal.
God, should I call them?
No. A day.
Good. That's probably the right thing. Thank you. Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him?
We've taken him to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number in case you want to contact him earlier.
A very good call.
Is there anything else that the RCM could do for you?
No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still... Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I'll call if...
These are her last reserves of strength. Her muscles will give in soon. Already, she starts to shake.
We should step outside and talk.
All right, I feel better about that one.
You did well. You did enough. Can't save the whole world, you know.
Can't bring the dead back.
I'll call the station when we're finished with the day, and let them know the name of the deceased. They'll manage.
They have to. It's not your place to live their lives.
That's it. We should get back to our case now that our duty here is done. Let's go.
Oh yeah, sorry about your handkerchief, Kim, but
Yes?
I feel like it was put to good use. Right. So go back and talk to those two.
Just an ordinary wall.
great to see you again, officer. My wife can't wait to thank you. Go on, talk to her.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you. Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie, Meskin origin. The pin is an antique, quite special.
Aw.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes. You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more important.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
Ramblings? Nonsense. Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
But darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden... I'm getting ahead of myself.
Oh, okay.
I was
It wasn't
5 and a half in Betancourt,
in the same area where that
suburbs.
one
My
trap
grandmother had a
was.
summer home there.
Betancourt got bombed in the war. It used to be quite near, circa 20 kilometers from here.
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it. I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds. I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there knee-deep in mud, looking around me. I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds. She told me it hissed.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
The way it moved, the colour. How some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession. Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends.
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
Mm-hmm.
Our first, yes.
The glance is tender, yes, but tempered by something else. A thought she can't express, even to him. Interesting.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just... such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
And she could get up and walk right into the reeds on her own, into the mud, anywhere.
The one thing about this is that, like, it's on one hand, it's kind of cool that you have these, like, it changes these statistics for you. Didn't I have? Huh. Could have sworn I had something else. Like, it's cool that it does it, but on the other hand, because it does it, you have to be like, all right, well, you don't have to, but, like, you're gonna want to, you know. I think I get a bonus to suggestion for having empty hands.
Oh, hello, sweetie. So nice to see you again.
There's really no point in manipulating anyone. She'd be only too pleased to tell you about her work. Go on and ask.
Oh, I'd be delighted. Truth be told, I could really use the company too.
One cryptid, not a couple. One. This won't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza.
He nods and assumes a waiting posture. Ooh, tough choice there.
No, it's the cryptid. Oh, yes. The eight-eyed teratorn, the largest flying avian ever discovered, with a wingspan of 11.5 meters. It was thought to have gone extinct 3,500 years ago. Some even doubted the fossils were real. A mutation, they said. Until...
Mutation? All of evolution is a mutation.
Until it was sighted by renowned Gottwaldian explorer and naturalist Uwe Plattenkalk in 21.
This renown seems a bit dubious. Your own catalogue comes up completely empty. But, of course, you are not all-knowing.
It happened on a botanical expedition into the vast and unexplored Oamrau Canyon in southeast Ilmara. Dr. Plattenkalk got separated from his group during a sandstorm. The world's largest canyon system, sweetie. It's a barren waste east of the Erg Desert. An ancient riverbed completely dried up. Alone in the blasted desert heat, the doctor wandered eastward, where man hasn't stepped foot in over 1,000 years, since the fall of Pericarnassus. He was lost, without any navigation equipment, and desperately low on water.
Sorry, I
After a
just
day or
noticed
two,
chat.
he
I'm bad at
noticed a
noticing
bird
chat sometimes.
high in the noon sky. A great blackbird. It seemed gargantuan.
I get distracted by cryptozoology and running around doing weird jobs and unfortunate, like, sad moments that have been the staple of this current stream. But hey, I hope you're doing well. And I hope that... whatever. I was gonna say, I hope that that wasn't, like, from a long time ago and I'm just now seeing it. Oh well.
Every now and then, the bird would dive down to feed on an animal carcass somewhere on the horizon. But by the time Uwe got there, the teratorn had taken off already, and the carcass was picked clean. This happened many times. Yes, or rather, hunting. A bird that big has a lot of blood in it, and he was dying of thirst. For many days, Dr. Plattenkalk followed the teratorn until they reached a great canyon wall where the bird finally landed to rest. The professor climbed up there with a rock in his hand. He found the bird sleeping with his head tucked under its wing, a great black pile of feathers on the perch. So he approached, slowly squeezing the rock in his fist.
Watch out.
Then the Tetatorn suddenly looked at him. He could see it had 8 eyes, 4 on either side of its skull, like a spider. And the man couldn't move. He was paralyzed, frozen into place with the rock in his hand. Whatever he did, he could not get closer to the bird. The bird was controlling his mind. It kept him from approaching. He could step back, but every time he stepped forward, paralysis. Uva spent 3 days trying until the bird flew away. The 8-eyed Tetatorn was indifferent to him, as long as he didn't get closer than 2 steps. It even let him feed on some carcasses up there, and the 2 unfertilized eggs it left behind.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna roll with this.
Absolutely, sweetie. Cryptozoologists have been tracing it ever since, but Wamrao is vast, mysterious, and holds many secrets.
Modern radar telemetry shows great promise. We will confirm this one by the end of the decade, latest.
This one I liked. Not only does it have 8 eyes, and is a living fossil, and the largest bird ever to live, it also does mind control.
He's sincere. He likes the audacity of it.
Sadly, yes, but there are numerous reports of 8-eyed bird skulls from Il Mara. And then there's the striking resemblance to the Pericarnassian imperial eagle, an ancient heraldic symbol that is hard to pass off as coincidence. The imperial eagle, too, had 8 eyes.
Not really. It's just stylization. The way they drew eyes. It's not a zoological drawing.
Very, very hard.
This one's very famous. Everyone knows it. People will be looking at that tie on you and thinking, that man is into cryptids. So, what else do you want to know? Yes, it's the kind green ape. Half war story, half undiscovered species in the genus Homo. Yes, it was reported by soldiers in South Safra during the war. The kind green ape would visit bunkers during the night, healing wounded soldiers with its saliva. Yes, it has amazing healing qualities. Some soldiers reported growing back limbs, regaining their sight.
What?
Indeed, there is. It's our closest relative among the cryptids. Same taxonomic family, different genus. Which is to say, the kind green ape is a species with which we share a common ancestor.
That's fucked up.
And that evolved parallel to our own. Just like your partners.
Wait, what? Yeah, wait a minute, what?
The lieutenant looks at you, pleasantly surprised.
Oh, no, I didn't mean to imply that Saolites are inferior to us in many ways. You are superior. For example, your earwax doesn't have a foul odor like ours does.
A tremendous evolutionary advantage, I'm sure. But perhaps we've had enough speculative biology for today.
Yeah, that was kind of weird, and I think we're gonna wrap that up.
Of course, dear.
But I still need to talk to you, I guess.
Nothing like the gratitude of a good woman.
He tries to play it cool, remain professorial, but inside, this man is itching for some news on those traps.
Hell no. I had no idea. And I'm still cross with him, to be honest. It's not like him. He's got his quirks, but dishonesty, disloyalty are not one of them.
Thanks.
Good. Okay. And completely empty?
No locusts? No phasmid either?
That's not ideal, but I definitely left that one stocked.
Right from the campsite? Just means the Insulindian phasmid is even more clever than we thought.
She's engaging in a well-known self-deception called motivated reasoning. You should correct them.
Of course, more clever.
Yes, the Phantasmadeia picked off the locust and escaped. This is good news, though we'll have to reconsider the design of the traps. Make them more secure.
Another trip to the reeds.
Yeah, I mean, that is a logical fallacy. I think you need to have a stronger reasoning than that.
I appreciate your concern, officer, but please leave this to the experts. Unless you have an alternative hypothesis you'd like to venture.
You're jabbing at the soft underbelly of his psyche. He realizes he's gotten defensive.
Actually, no. Excuse me for getting emotional. This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now, and brought some great news too. My gratitude, and the gratitude of the Société Cryptozoologique de Ravachol, is yours.
Heartfelt gratitude. But does it feel like closure? What really happened? Some kind of foul play might be afoot. Theft?
Thank you, it's an honor. We should probably return to our main investigation here. This has been refreshing, but...
Consider the way the empty trap was disturbed, as though shaken. Most likely the hands of a young person. Hands small enough to fit inside the trap, too.
It's Kuno.
You should ask the red-headed boy.
Oh god, it is Kuno, isn't it?
A little hooligan. But what would a child want with bags?
Oh, my dear Morel. You've been an old man for too long. Kids love to torment insects almost as much as they love to torment old folks.
Delinquents. My favorite.
Sorry, Kim.
Oh, you've been such a dear to us. Please, let us know whatever you turn up. I have a feeling we're getting so close.
Well, I see you've got all the help you need. I'll see you tonight at my place. Let's play suzerainty, but no more field trips for me.
After this is your last chance to talk to Gary.
Really, Gary? We're getting somewhere here. I'd love to play suzerainty, but...
Lena, I'm sorry, but you're not getting anywhere. It was some kids. I know the little mutants around here. Leave anything out in the open and they'll steal it, even if it's bugs. Morel, it's been fun, really, but I need a bath and I have deliveries to handle. When this tea is done, I gotta run.
No need to apologize, Geary. You'd be more than helpful. We'll have to take a rain check on that game of suzerainty today, though. We're gonna follow this.
I think they all pronounce suzerainty or whatever it is. I think they all pronounce it differently.
He keeps the language unemotional, but it's in there. Disappointment.
You know, it happens. I'm gonna wrap things up with Gary, though, before you
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the... officers. I like to pronounce it the hard way.
He winks at you, trying to relay some hidden message, inviting you to mispronounce it too, perhaps.
Well, maybe this guy just mispronounces everything.
It's a secret rite, a very fringe nationalist.
Yeah, whatever. Screw that guy. Alright, so we got a missing insects case. This one probably won't happen until tonight. Tape with the melody. Don't know about that one. Not really sure about this one. And dealing with that mural. Don't know about these two. Don't know about that one. Oh yeah. I think there's a
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers. Nothing. Just black tangles like the hair of an old woman. Motionless. The wind in the yard doesn't reach the hawthorn, nor does the light come in from this window.
No, you know what?
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. There's a yellow ribbon tied to one of the branches. Light yellow, faded with time. A tiny splash of color in the blackness of the thicket. Hanging from it, a bronze key.
Yeah, I remember trying to see that earlier, and I think it was like it wasn't yet time or something, so I guess I had to wait for it.
Someone hid the key in the bush and attached a yellow ribbon to make it easier to find. It's close enough to the latch up there. One can slide it open and just take it. Surely not a coincidence.
Huh? And I need the fatty to get his feet amputated because the smell is killing me. We can't always get what we want.
God damn it, Dennis. You know I can't help it.
Sorry, fucko. These guys won't help you. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving. The hawthorn's got a bitch of a bite.
I'm gonna enjoy the sight of you in the bushes out there.
With a loud thud, the old man stands up, pushes the window open, grabs the key from the hawthorn branch, and slides it across the table to you.
Thank you.
The key is brass. Workshop spare is etched into its bow. The old man closes the window and sits back down in silence.
Come on, man. We were just having some fun. Where's the harm in?
I'm tired of listening to your shit. Don't thank me. I don't give two shits about your key.
Didn't even know it was there. Boys.
No idea.
Never even seen it. Someone must have hidden it there before this room became our place.
Your secret root theory? You're grasping for straws, cop man. Why'd she put it back if it's hers? A little wisdom from old Titus. Not everything is connected to one thing. Keys just lie around. It's a messy world.
Fair enough, but I will give it a try.
I could open the door in the kitchen. The blue door. It says workshop spare. Maybe there's a workshop there?
It's worth a try. You see a heavy steel. The key fits the dimple lock. It takes a bit of effort to turn it after all these years. But then, the lock clicks. The darkness before you smells like engine grease and cut wood.
Hello. The spare key is tied to the bush. NB, the spare key is tied to the bush outside the window. NB.
Over there, in the corner. Not just any pinball machine. This is the pinnacle of pinball. Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats. It's lit. You can't wait to get your hands on it.
The pinball machine. Gordy's Goats. A classic. A little. Ah, great.
Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats reads the golden lettering on top of the back box. There's a small column of text underneath. The machine is coin-operated. Get the game on, Fingerboy. Those flippers are ready. Above the painting of a mustached man climbing a hill, a column reads, "Inspired by the legend of Cornelius Gordy, taken on the world's tallest peak, Corpus Muindi." The Mesk legend holds that when the nation is in danger, heroic Gordy shall return and save his people. The theme of the game is to explore Gordy's climb through the perspective of goats and to ascend to the top of the mountain in a time of trouble. The peak of the mountain is at the top of the playfield. All the bulls have small goat icons on them and represent the goats as they race up and down the mountain. Areas around the playfield represent Gordy's climb, places he was said to have camped, which the goats can discover. Get them to the summit. Indeed, think of them as bulls. It takes a while to get into a rhythm, but pretty soon you're able to keep 3 goat-faced bulls in play with relative ease. Go, go, finger boy.
I feel sorry for the goats. If they only knew the kind of guy old Cornelius really was. The kind of a guy who uses the word savages a lot when recounting his travels. A Mesk nationalist. An avid huntsman too. He was often photographed in his dining hall, surrounded by wall-mounted hunting trophies from every continent. He also hit his wife and kids.
Jeez.
Other people's kids too. Sometimes pets. Hateful little man. But you seem to be having fun.
Your game is definitely improving. The jolly goats are flying all over the board, and although a few plummet to their deaths, you're never left with less than 3. Suddenly, a special passage leading to the summit slides open at the top of the board. This is where the balls need to go. Maneuvering a goat ball into a position for a perfect hit isn't easy. More fall to their deaths. But finally, the opportunity presents itself. One of them gets through. Tiny hammer shatters something inside the machine. Something glass. The words "pale rupture" light up on the speaker panel, and the machine starts filling with a thick, milky fog. Something's happening.
Congratulations. This is where the game ends. It's a cheap way of getting more money out of the players. A stupid, nihilistic finale.
There's so much fog, you can barely see anything. Some is actually leaking out of the machine, and one by one, your goats start slipping, disappearing into the milky nothingness. This can be navigated. The balls leave almost imperceptible disruptions in the fog. Use them to calculate where they hit next. You're down to your last goat, going mostly by
Bad
sound.
at ball games.
Eyes are useless at this point, but that goat is something special. 5 times you snatch him back from the jaws of death.
I am. I've seen it before. Played it too. You will eventually make a mistake and then it's all over.
With automation like
Holy
this,
crap!
you keep the final goat ball in play, reacting to the tiniest stimuli, floating in the flow state. The fog is
I
clearing,
just
and
barely
suddenly
made that.
The old speaker crackles. Gordy ball is lit.
Huh?
A panel opens up at the top of the playfield, and a new ball charges downhill. It's larger than the goats and matte black. Cornelius spell the white letters running across the equator. So violent is its descent, it immediately knocks the last goat into the abyss. Then proceeds to bounce all across the board as if carried by some demonic otherworldly inertia. High score, announce the speakers, and the whole machine lights up. Then the flippers retract, leaving a perfect opening for the Gordy ball to join the goats backstage. Cornelius vanishes, and the machine powers off.
That's amazing. You didn't just win. No one I know has ever beaten Gordy's goats. That is a monumental achievement, Detective. Congratulations, Your Highness.
Yes!
That was really impressive. The machine needs a good service before anyone else can even attempt it again. Yes. Good times.
Once again, the machine becomes one with the dust and the darkness.
You know what? I think I'm going to end on that. That was pretty cool. So yeah, still having a lot of fun with this game, even when crazy, weird things happen. But I think we're also slowly getting closer to figuring out what's actually going on. So yeah, that'll do it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, catch you next time.